Royal Blood, 10-ton skeleton on the PhoenixFM Breakfast Show. 9:05 on Wednesday morning, 17th of December. This is Joe with you through until 10 this morning, and it is my pleasure to be joined live in the studio by a man in a chicken outfit. Good morning. Official title was the Quiet Riot App Chicken Man. Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, thanks.
So for people who don't know, let's just try and give some context, because otherwise people listening going, why is a man dressed as a chicken live on the radio? This was in the news last week. Colin was found dressed as the chicken, as he is now, outside Shenfield train station, essentially protesting against Greater Anglia. And we'll get on to specific reasons later on. We'll discuss the reasons throughout the interview. But that's why he's here, and I think it was on a lot of the news websites, so people would have seen you about, and you were found with a sign going, "Are you fed up with Greater Anglia too?"
Correct, yes.
So I've made a sign for this interview.
Okay.
And it just says, "Are you fed up with this interview?" And at any point, if you don't like a question or you're thinking, "This is dragged on, I'm fed up with this interview," I'll hand this to you now.
Okay, thank you.
Place it down on the desk, and you can just hold that up whenever you want.
Sounds good.
And it just says, "Are you fed up with this interview?"
Well, hopefully I won't have to use it.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully you won't have to use it.
Can't be worse than the interview the other day. So, firstly, we've agreed the official title is the Quiet Riot App Chicken.
Correct, yeah.
I think the obvious question is, why were you dressed as a chicken outside a train station?
Well, the idea is that it's come from the fact, or this app, Quiet Riot. So it's a new app in the App Store, you can download it now, and basically it helps people find others who are annoyed about the same things as you, and then helps to get things done about it. So that's the basic message of what it does. And so it can be anything. It can be if you're annoyed with Ryanair, you're annoyed with BT, you can, BT have cut you off again, you can do something about it, and you can find others with the same problem. And there is a large community of people who are annoyed about Greater Anglia trains, and about the fact that they're always late, that the fact that they're messy, and they cost too much, and so on, and they seem to be getting worse and worse. And so there are a number of people gathering there as a community on the app, sort of protesting, talking about Greater Anglia and what they're going to do about it. And they, as a group, took an action to deploy a chicken, which is sending me out to take their messages, their letters into the head office. We've been to the head office twice to take sort of messages and letters into the managing director, Jamie Burrells. And then they sent me out again last week to Shenfield Station to go and talk to passengers to kind of find out what they were complaining about and to see what other people's problems are, and to try and get more people to kind of join this quiet riot. And hence why I was out at Shenfield Station at sort of 6:30 in the morning last week.
How did it come about, you getting involved with the app in the first place?
Yeah, well, I know the guy that founded it. It's an app called Simon Darling. I know him, and I'm sort of was chatting to him about the whole thing about how he's going to do it and what he was doing with it. And one of his big things was, part of what people can do within it is get somebody dressed as a chicken to take your message into the head office to, I suppose, raise your message with the decision makers. That's sort of the idea behind it. A bit of fun, but it's kind of with a serious issue. And we were discussing it, and and I was saying, well, how on earth are you going to get anyone to dress as a chicken to go and do it for you? And then before I knew it, I had agreed to do it. So that's kind of sort of the idea behind it. But I myself am effectively commissioned by people in the app to go and do it. So that's sort of how it works.
So you don't just do Greater Anglia, you've dressed as a chicken and gone to other companies and done the same thing?
Yeah, we have. Well, the app's very new, so I haven't done many yet, but I have been out to BT on behalf of a BT customer. He had been cut off last sort of about 6 months ago for 2 or 3 months as part of a changeover of his broadband service, and he was left out of phone, without broadband for I think 2 or 3 months. They didn't even acknowledge the problem really. They didn't apologise. He was really annoyed with them, and so he wrote a letter, and I took it in, and then the next day he got a phone call from the CEO's head office saying, "Really sorry, let's get this sorted out." They gave him a refund. They even invited him to some sort of consumer panel that they're sort of doing with to try and improve the customer service. So it worked. So that was pretty good. And then we made a video, we put it on YouTube, and that was it.
Have you found it's been a pretty good reaction to it so far?
Yeah, certainly it has. I mean, I think certainly it's a fun, light-hearted way to kind of raise your issues. But certainly with the Greater Anglia thing, there are a lot of people out there who are, as I say, really annoyed. Even this morning I was out at Brentwood Station again asking that question, are you fed up with Greater Anglia? And after a sort of a second of people getting past the fact that there's a chicken standing at the station when they want to get a train to work, they go, actually, yeah, I really am a member of Greater Anglia. So it catches their attention, and then obviously it's trying to focus the channel towards the app to actually then find others and chat about it and then pool resources and get things done.
Okay, what I would like to do, we're going to play some Pixie Lot.
Okay.
Whilst we're playing this song, is it possible for me to whack on the costume and then do the other half of the interview dressed as a chicken?
Certainly can if you like. You're a bit taller than me, but so we'll see if it fits, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll see. I might just squeeze in like an arm, like over my head or something.
Yeah.
I'll be like a slightly deformed chicken. That could be the new look for the app. We'll play some Pixie Lot and then I'll be back dressed as a chicken. The wonderful Wrapped Up from Ollie Murs and Travie McCoy on the PhoenixFM Breakfast Show, coming up to 9:20. And right now I am conducting the second part of this interview in a chicken outfit. Colin, what do you think of me in Z outfit?
I think it's a very good look for you, yeah, absolutely.
Do you think this should be more of a permanent fix on the show?
Hey, wouldn't say no.
There we go. I've got one admirer. One swipe to the right on Tinder dressed as this.
Definitely.
Imagine being on Tinder dressed as a chicken. Please, everyone, go and do that. Change your Tinder pictures.
No, there's an idea.
Dressed as a chicken. So, for people who don't know, if you've just tuned in, I'm joined by Colin, who is the Quiet Riots at Chicken. You may have seen the pictures in the news last week of Colin dressed in the chicken outfit I'm dressed in now, outside Shenfield Rail Station. You've also been outside Brentwood Station this morning.
That's true, yeah.
Have you got one standout reaction or one standout comment from a commuter since doing this?
Yeah, well, this morning we were outside Brentwood and we were doing the same thing, saying, are you felt at Greater Anglia? And most folk were saying, absolutely, yes. And then one girl came up to us and went, oh, you were at Shenfield last week, weren't you? I saw your videos. That's great. I really hate Greater Anglia. I've written to them, I sent Jamie Burrell a letter, an 11-page letter, and they actually responded to me, apparently, she said. But nothing happened really, nothing changed, and she's still annoyed with him, so that was quite good that someone's obviously been on the app, they've got the app, and they're trying to get things done about it. So that's the main thing, that's the whole message about it. What is the overall aim? So you've set up the app, done the chicken thing, what do you actually want to come from this? Yeah, well, the app itself can be for all organisations, all issues across the world, not just in the UK, so that's one thing. So it's about getting sort of meaningful change happening there. On the Greater Anglia one specifically, it's about putting pressure on Greater Anglia, on Network Rail, on, I suppose, the government to try and actually look at the problems and issues that people are having. I think it's not just Greater Anglia, it's a lot of train lines and a lot of companies. You go on Twitter and you go on Quiet Riots and you see people complaining about them, and it's about certainly putting pressure on them to get better, to improve. The franchise for Greater Anglia is up in October 2016, and the idea maybe would be to try and get that looked at beforehand, to kind of, if Greater Anglia are underperforming, to actually step up and say, look, let's get things sorted out, or to make sure that they don't get it again next time. That's sort of, I think, what is the issue. People just want to get to work on time, and then they're kind of fed up and they're done with it all. One thing I was interested in, what do you do as a normal job? Because obviously you don't dress as a chicken for a living. I don't dress as a chicken full time for a living. No, I work in tech marketing. So it's quite different. So it's quite different, yeah. You wouldn't say the two go hand in hand. Not really. What have you got a degree in tech marketing? Yeah. Dressed as a chicken. Yeah, So this is kind of sort of, you say a few things, you agree to a few things, and before you know it, you're on a radio station dressed as a chicken. That's how it happens. Are you happy you did agree to it though, or does part of you think, why did I agree to dress as a chicken outside a train station? Every morning before I go out on a deploy a chicken mission, I'm a little bit nervous and I'm like, what on earth am I doing? Is my mum going to hate me for this? But then actually when I'm doing it, it's quite fun because you get a good reaction and people chat and people are wanting things done, they want things changed, and at the end of the day people just want to get to work on time, and so it's nice to kind of help galvanise that a bit and see if we can get things going. Have you got any other animals planned? Are you going to branch out from the chicken? It's not just chickens, no. We have been out as a cowboy to Starbucks. People were complaining that they get their name spelt wrong when they order their cup of coffee. So we went out as a cowboy to Starbucks head office in Chiswick in London and delivered them a message. They also did respond to the people who were complaining about it. They apologised and they gave them some free Starbucks vouchers, which was very nice of them. But then at the end of the day, again, that was another sort of fun one. But we do have other costumes and things planned in the future. Yeah.
So what can you give us an insight into what we?
Well, it's really down to what anyone wants. I mean, if anybody wants us to go out to somebody to Ryanair or to BT or to Virgin or whoever they're complaining about, whether it's their school or teachers, we'll do it. We'll go. You just got to say what you want us to wear, and we'll go and do it.
I'm thinking a spider or something.
The next one is Ryanair dressed as a spider.
Okay.
I'm going to download the app.
That's an interesting one. Essentially, we can do that. Yeah.
So this all came about through the Quiet Riots app. If people are listening to this thinking, yeah, I do want to stand up to Greater Anglia, yeah, I'm annoyed at Starbucks, how can people go about getting the app and then having a say?
Well, you can get the Quiet Riots app in the App Store. So you go onto your iPhone and type in Quiet Riots and download it from there. We're unfortunately not on Android just yet, but you can find it on the web. If you go to greateranglia.quietriots.com, you can find out more there and do your thing there.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for bringing the chicken outfit in. It's been a good amount of fun.
No problem, thank you.
I've enjoyed doing it. We'll get some more pictures now. We need to get one with the sign or something.
Yes, absolutely. Not fed up this yet.
No, luckily you didn't have to use the sign. That is a good sign you didn't use the sign. If people want to see pictures as well, we'll put them up on Twitter at PhoenixBrekkie, at PhoenixFM. We'll put them on our personal Twitters as well. We'll put it on the Facebook page later as well. And if you've missed any of it, we'll put the full thing online this afternoon, PhoenixFM.com. Thanks for coming in, Colin.
Thank you.